Welcome everyone, I'm the Depressed and this is Langrisser Mobile Apex Season 17. It's a new season. Unfortunately, last season I did not make top 512 like the previous seasons, so I didn't get any fancy rewards. But I'm not too surprised, I did rather poorly last season. Anyway, so these are going to be placement matches. For those who don't know, it's 5 matches, depending on what ratio of wins you have and what rank you were previously. We'll decide whatever rank you start in for this season. For the most part, I just wanted to get my win for the week. It's been an exhausting week running tabletop games and stuff like that, and been busy with work as always. So I really just wanted to get my win and then get everything, kind of just get through everything else. I was expecting to run into a lot of meta boxes and be kind of annoyed by that. Also, I really hope to not start in Gold 3. I do want to go Gold 3. The Anna skin that's going to be the reward for Gold 3 is actually pretty cool. For those who, the 0 people that actually use Anna. But I did want to start in a lower rank and kind of work my way up instead of being just stuck in Gold 3 and fighting all the people that are trying to zoom their way to Langrisser. Anyway, for those who haven't been keeping up, I have changed up the box a bit. It is a 4-4 setup, so 4 healers, 4 tanks. The idea here is to essentially... I wanted to make a box that was more functional for player 2, because as you can see, I tend to get player 2 reasonably often. So what I focused on was picking... getting enough act agains to ensure that I can always get an act again as player 2. And the other thing I was focusing on, of course, was what particular characters I wanted to use as my ace. And I want to work with Silvaria and maybe Isolde. I was expecting Isolde to always be banned, so I figured it was going to be mostly Silvaria, which is fine because I enjoy playing, messing around with sniper stuff. In any case, as for the box itself, as far as updates, Hilda is now cavalry. I did swap her over. She is using, I think it's called a balance blade, the one that extends your AoE range, so that can make it so she can put out 3 rows of her special terrain instead of just 2. All the characters, let's see, but I think over half the box is fully upgraded, like all inscriptions, all that stuff. I think it's just my healers, Namia, Joa, or Connie, sorry. I think those are the only ones that are not fully upgraded at this point, because all my tanks are upgraded. And Silvaria, Isolde, Eshian, the Awakened one, and I just recently got Tatalia to max. So that's what we're looking at right now. There is another change. I think I mentioned it in previous videos, but I'll talk about that when the match starts. So for this box, the thing that really stand out to me is the fact that they have a Silvaria, and I definitely was not going to let that go. There's definitely a lot of other characters that are extremely annoying. We got Isolde, we got, one moment, Andriel, sorry. As always, I tend to forget names. So we got Andriel here, we got Lena. So yeah, Jace, Andriel, McLean are probably the biggest dangers. Everything else is not too bad. They have a Sonya, which is unique. They also have this character, which I need to look up again. Excella, that is her name. And then we got Kaguya or Kagura, I don't remember which pronunciation. We got Agnes here. So yeah, I went ahead and banned their Isolde because I didn't want to deal with that powering up and just wrecking me. They banned my Isolde and went straight for healer. So I was a little surprised by that. Wait, actually, how many healers do they have? Oh, they only have 2 healers. Actually, oops, sorry. I found out that if I hit right click, it makes me try to quit the game. That's neat. Anyway, they only have 1 primary healer. Axis is not really a primary healer, so I could have gone for that if I want to, but as you can see here, it's kind of a... My opponent's kind of okay with being someone that just kind of rushes in and does whatever. But yeah, they went in and grabbed their 1 healer. They banned my Isolde. At this point, I went ahead and banned their Andriel and Jace, which kind of takes care of everything. Everything else here is not that scary. Lina is always annoying, but I usually get Christiane, so it's not the end of the world. So I grabbed Sylvaria. They ban Esrian and Liana, so some of my Actigens, and they grab their Sylvaria. So we can see the game now. So I ban their Esrian, get rid of their McLean, and I go ahead and immediately grab an Actigen. I had 3 healers left, but only 2 of them had Actigens, and I did. As player 2, you definitely want an Actigen, especially if you're doing a build like Sylvaria. So with that, I at least have some control. Sissy White's Actigen is a little awkward, simply because she has to accumulate coins, and it has a long cooldown after you use it. But Florentia, I can only really do her Actigen once, unless I happen to get her a faction buff, which most cases I probably won't have it. So lose Natalia, lose Nemea. They grab Agnes, so full on heals here. So this is actually kind of a neat counter pick, because Agnes, of course, is kind of a counter against assassins because of the self-res mechanic. So even if I were to trade blows with my sniper, their Sylvaria will actually be able to live for a tick. That being said, if I do take her out, she gets silenced and heavily weakened, and she can't really function unless she gets the 3C from Agnes. So it's not really the end of the world. In any case, I get rid of the Awakened one, get rid of Lina. I grabbed Joe and Connie because that's really all I had left for DPS. There was the Awakened one, but I don't really need her for this. Since they already have Rosalia, I don't... Is it Rosalia? Sorry about that. It's Rose and Seal. So since they have Rose and Seal, I can't really make use of her mechanics, and Agnes, a combination of these two, they'll be able to heal just fine. So they go ahead and grab Kagura here, which is a bit annoying. I go ahead and ban Christiane, get rid of Lightbringer. I wasn't really that concerned about Sonya. I don't really know too much about her. I have seen her in some matches on the Chinese server, and sometimes she can be pretty surprising. She can be really, really bulky. At this point, I'm pretty sure my opponent will grab a tank in any case, and I mean, I'm not that concerned about Xella. I go ahead and grab Christiane, which is perfect, because Kagura here is going to be kind of dangerous. Alright, so lose my last healer, lose the Awakened one. Or I didn't lose my last healer, I still have Rose and Seal and Lightbringer. My opponent's not really focused on debuffs, but I'm completely okay with having Rose and Seal because she is Empire faction. Alright. Trying to get back into the swing of things here. Kayura, that's what it is. Okay. I'll be sure to forget that by the next video. Alright, standard... I was about to say standard Agnes. This one has sorceresses. I don't know why. Glowhammer, 3C... Or, sorry, not 3C. Pretty much all of her exclusives. We'll just put it that way. Glowhammer, Palladius Ray, and Brilliant Halo. Usually, if you want to be a build like this, you want to bring, like, Shrine Maidens at the very least. I mean, Shrine Maidens are not the most effective against Assassins because she's going to be mixed class most likely, but still would have been better than Sorceresses. In any case, Kayura here, standard offense kit, Assassin class, Sorceresses, and then Star Shine, you know, passive in all of our exclusive attacks. So Magic Shine, Star Slash, all of our Guard Ignore. Sonya here has Angels. Sonya, her kit is she reduces all damage if there's another ally within 2 blocks. Otherwise, she does increased damage, so she can be kind of a bruiser type. She has a built-in self-res as part of her talent. She can heal herself and dispel buffs off herself, as well as gain reinforcements. She has a bubble shield that takes all hits, and anyone within the guard command range will take reduced damage, which is nice. And then her dual mechanic applies to selected enemy, cannot use skills or normal attacks against any unit other than the caster, so it forces them to attack her. It has some mechanics if it's not in PvP. After using this attack, the the caster will gain attack and defense increased by 20%, and they gain bait, which is when fighting an enemy with duel, they can't be crit essentially. Cannot be dispelled, ignores immunity last 2 turns. Now, the bait part ignores immunity, but the duel part does not. So that's kind of the catch with this thing. But I think the main reason she took this is for the defensive buff, because there's no faction buff for her right now. Silvaria, you might be familiar with her. She's got Sneak 3C, and she brought Order of the Guardian, which makes sense. She also has Deck Gunners. The Rosen Seal did bring a faction buff, so she can buff Silvaria here, and then the rest is just heals. Has Shrine Maidens, is Holy Class. I don't know if she's fixed immune or not. Anyway, so comparing their Silvaria with mine, theirs has better attack, better health, better defense. Yeah, just better general stats overall. Something to note is if, in the case of the bow, the range increasing bow compared to the Crystal Stinger, which is what I'm using on Silvaria now, daggers do have a lower base attack compared to bows. So that is something to take into account. Alright, speaking of Silvaria, I am using Crystal Stinger, so my range is only 9 when I'm sniping, but I do bypass 20% of defense now, which is pretty helpful. As long as I believe I have to have higher skill, of course. Besides that, I brought Disarm, 3C, and Sneak. Connie here, standard kit. I brought Fairy Spirit Prophets, her shot type, roundabout 3C. Christian here, I went with Angels because my opponent's pretty much all magic. And then all of our exclusives, including her passive. Sissy White, Windbloom Channers. I did bring Dismiss, just in case I need to punch some holes through some people's troops. But the main kit here is just the heal and the 3C, which will provide us with Act Agains. Rosen Seal, I opted to not bring a single target heal. Instead, I just brought AoE heals and the faction buff. And she has Shrine Maidens, and she is fixed damage immune. Alright, so the big kit issue right now is I can't get Act Again on the first round. And that means my opponent has initiative, and that means their sniper has initiative over mine. And I don't know, at this point I don't know what my opponent's sniper has, but if they have 10 range, I have to assume they have it. So, Shield of Courage. So, yeah. Oh, the other thing the buff does is it takes 20% of her attack and adds it to her defense. So it makes her reasonably physically bulky. Magic, on the other hand, makes her, she's pretty vulnerable to that. Yeah, so one of the first things I did was count a lot of tiles. The big thing here is Kaiyura getting to here, and then she can move another 6, so she can literally get to, like, here, and then just snipe whoever she wants. Obviously, if she goes all the way to here, she's going to be exposed to Connie, so I have to kind of time it. I have to wait and see what their Kaiyura does before I move my Connie. Because even if I make her take one step less, that will give me the means to actually stay out of range. So yeah, just trying to stay back right now. I can't. Right now, I don't have the initiative, and their snipers can do a lot more than mine. All right. Okay. So I went ahead and moved up with channel interference. This is just for like a cheeky way of possibly getting a shot in, but it's not going to happen. Now the good news is, since Kaiyura did not go for full distance, I can actually get Silvaria out of range by going here. I always assume that she has the range extending staff, so I assume she has full range. But I have to make sure my DPS stays alive long enough to actually do something. So for now, I go ahead and just keep Connie out of range, and you got Silvaria here. So 10 range. That's what I'm assuming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah, the fact that she's set up here means she definitely has 10 range. Either that, it's a bluff. She can shoot Christian, Sissy White, or Silvaria at this point. So I go ahead and move Silvaria out of range. Alright, so a few things to note. Just that is crazy. So one thing to note about Silvaria is she has built-in crit chance. She has increased crit from sneak. That's so at the very least, just from this alone, she has 40% crit. She's sitting on about 50 skill, or 500 skills. That's another 50. So that's like 90% crit chance. Now Sissy White does have Apex enchants, including the one that reduces crit chance of being crit. And I think that just saved her, because Silvaria did not crit, and that's the only reason Sissy White's alive right now. Sissy White does have full HP. She does not have Shrine Maidens. She has decent defense. And I may have debuffed something, because... No, I can't have debuffed anything. Nope, never mind. I forgot Sissy White is not Empire. So yeah, this was literally just all her. Okay. I don't know what buff gets dispelled. Let's find out again. Oh, I did Angel Feather, that's right. So I did get rid of one of her buffs. But yeah, this was significant. I got rid of her defense buff. And my opponent didn't get rid of anything, it looks like. Before being forced into battle. Oh, I guess that's when they attack her. Okay. So with that, I'm alive, which I'm really surprised about. Kyra can definitely follow up here, but to do so would kind of expose her. The big issue here is if I can heal with Sissy White or move her away. But if I do that, I can't use her act again. And I want to use the act again. So I go ahead and just use Miracle for now. And just put up as much defense as possible. Now, one thing to note about Christiane, of course, she is providing 10%, 25% reduced damage from range and magic. And then I'm reducing it by another 15% here, so that's 40% damage reduction right now, and that's not including anything else that's in our kit. Okay, so range staff here. So I wonder if it's because the Wind Balloon Chatters were still at 100% HP, because there is troop skills that do the Holy Troop skill. I think reduces like damage by like 30% if your troops are at 100%. So I think that's possibly the reason. Obviously, the other reasons, of course, is the fact Kyra has no buffs, so it definitely didn't help her there. So it goes to there. So at this point, I go ahead and just flat out take out this guy, which I'm completely okay with. And I did lose an Effulgent stack there, which is nice. So getting dueled here, but I do have Crystal Barrier, and like I mentioned before, the dual part can't be immune. So everyone's kind of pushing to the center here. And then at this point, I have some options on who to snipe. So for right now, I'm going to go ahead and set up here. Obviously, I won't be able to kill anything because Agnes exists. Right now, I am, I'm 9 range away from Silvaria and Rosen Seal. Glowhammer, which, okay. Yeah, since I have 5 units, I'm going to definitely lose initiative. So I go ahead and just use this opportunity to get some hits in. So first snipe against Silvaria. Alright, self-rest. So 3C to get rid of the exhaustion debuff there. But that's been taken care of. Also, the self-res can only happen once, so at this point, if I kill Silvaria again, that's it. Alright, so I'm within range of getting hit by the fixed damage. And I go ahead and just go as far back as I can. I can't actually get out of Silvaria's range. She has 10 range, the mist is closing in, and she can just get into a position to kind of ignore all of that. So gets set up in the trees. So right now she is 10 range away from Joa and Connie. Yeah, exactly 10 range from Joa and Connie. Could also technically snap Joa. Obviously, it's going to be going after Joa and Connie to take her out, and she's not going to survive. There's no way. So I go ahead and just get Sylvaria out of range. And I go ahead and get Sissy White out of range. So I did go into snipe mode. So I'm gonna get counter snipe here. And dead. Alright. So I'm 3 range away from, let's say 3, 6, yeah, I'm 3 range away from Agnes. So I go ahead and just take care of that issue. So no more self-reses. I go ahead and just move in and just start doing some extra damage here. So I go ahead and move up. Joe is going to die immediately because Connie is dead. And at this point, I'm just kind of keeping my distance. Yeah, I mean, I shouldn't really need to be this cautious. Neither Sonya or Rosensteel will be able to kill my healers. But I go ahead and move up, and I go ahead and use the Nightmaster here. Currently, guard is down. So I go ahead and just run up to see if I can do anything here. Nothing. Yeah, just absolutely nothing. I think in hindsight, I should have summoned in the... Well, I couldn't do it that way, could I? Yeah, I should have been a little bit more aggressive with Sissy White and moved up, and then just try to summon closer, and then try to push Sylvaria like back here. But it's not really the end of the world. So it did force Sonya to kind of reposition here, which is nice. And moves in here. Alright, so I think I could go, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Yeah, so at this part I was actually kind of struggling because I was out of time. And so I was getting the countdown, and I was like trying to make sure I was within 9 range. Because if I get too close, there's a chance I might not be able to do enough damage to both the troops and her. But this spot here, that is exactly 9 tiles away. And I mean, there's no risk of losing here. I can break last rites here. So even with reduced, even if I lose my attack buff, which I didn't, I'm good to go. Yeah, really fun match. I had to not only count my own tiles, but I had to count in the case of my opponent. Yeah, so another duel here. This is mainly just to get her defense buff up. I go ahead and just push in with Valkyrie power again. So the idea here is I was going to probably use the troop killing ability that Sissy White has, and then just use that to get kill on Rosensteel, and that would pretty much finish things off. So yeah, a lot of fun. Obviously, majority of my kills were on Sylvaria. Their Sylvaria killed one of my units. It was really fun having a sniping match like that. And of course, they have the Sylvaria icon. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. I am The Depressed Hero. This was Langrisser Mobile Apex Season 17. I'll see you guys next time.